Hey guys, let me know when you can hear me. I can get started. Leave a comment or something. Oh, add to stage. Duh. Sweet. How's the quality of the screen? Look all right? Anybody? Yes, I assume the screen looks good. So we are going to rock with that. Sweet. Well, popping on. 2 hours till the close. 2 hours, 10 minutes to be exact. Just thought we'd talk a little bit. If you guys have any questions as we get going, just pop them in the chat. They'll pop up on my little software here, and we can answer them. 0DTE, swing stocks, all that good stuff we can go through. So obviously, right, we had our pre-market prep video, YouTube Live. Y'all can go review that. I'm not going to reiterate all that stuff. You can also go right in the Discord. All starts with our SPX game plan. That's where we go through SPX full complex, SPX 0DT, look at the market trend model, just get us oriented kind of on a longer, shorter term time frame, what momentum's doing, call them put speculators are doing in terms of positioning the options market, and then filters into key levels, all that good stuff. We'll get to all that. Sherman, we'll hit on that implicitly as I walk through some stuff. But yeah, right now, market trend model, Sherman, this hits on a little bit of your question. Filter tick, much different from yesterday, right? Yesterday, sustained buying pressure throughout the session yesterday. Especially important to see on a filter tick basis. Not seeing that today in the filter tick, right? Built up the tick index, filter tick, our measurement of large buying and selling. We have the raw cumulative tick down here, still continuing from the signal that turned on, Friday into Monday. So that's good to see. But keep in mind this railroad track is kind of a 1 to 3 day signal. So we've had a nice momentum burst in the short term. So, if we see a little bit of pausing here would be completely normal. Just the key thing to note from, our mechanical portfolios, there's two mechanical strategies, which is dependent on our bullish momentum signal from the market trend model being turned on, which it currently is, and very little chance at all of it being turned off today, right? We just want to see cumulative tick continue to be above this longer term moving average ribbon. So yeah, tell what market trend model telling us. Again, just to reiterate, our P2P strategy, our wheel strategy, both of those mechanical in nature, those are turned on. I know P2P wheel probably sounds a little bit foreign to you. But if you go to our website, GameEdge.us, you can go to our Fast Pass, which is, our free education course, for lack of a better term, but it's more than a course. It's our entire methodology, framework, strategies, systems, tools, everything that a paid member gets, you get in this course. Like, it's the same exact thing, accelerate your learning curve. But all these blogs which are in the Fast Pass, the wheel is one of them, right? The wheel, nothing new there, basic option strategy. We just put a little GameEdge flair in it, meaning, we use our call-dominated scans to find those stocks positioned to move higher in terms of speculation. Then we also apply the Minervini trim template, which just helps us identify where that institutional momentum is coming in. So those are really good candidates. And then article down here, P-Transit plus GEX. Again, that's our 100% systematic strategy, significantly outperformed, SPY. Over buy and hold SPY over really any time frame you want to look at over the past 12 years. Why 12 years? That's when our data started. So if we had more data, we would back test further back. But 12 years is sufficient, and we've been running that strategy live since July of 2023. Results have mirrored the back testing. We feel very comfortable about it. A good bit of our community is running P-Transit plus GEX. All those entries, the night before, all that good stuff. So if you guys have more questions on that, pop them in the chat. We can get to them, but I've touched enough on that. From swing trading point of view, well, no, we're hit on SPX0DT. We'll just finish on. Can't post comments from some destinations. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, looking at SPX, right? Just kind of, oscillating around opening print prior to close. Nothing crazy there. We're above VWAP. That's good to see. Going specifically to our key levels we called out in the pre-market. You can see right up on a lot of key levels. I'm not going to go through all that. You guys can read that in the Discord. But looking at our pre-market structure, right, 6740, top of the DEX transition zone, top of Drunken Tether range. However, we do not 6750 key half level. This is also a significant pillar. Looking at this, if you would have had that top of the Drunken Tether range, probably would not have been wrong either. So key pillar. I think that's kind of where we stalled so far today. So that's not crazy to see. I think right now we're kind of floating just in the middle of our transition zone, although in the upper half of the transition zone. However, getting to the flow question that Sherman was asking about here, just crazy. I think there is probably some volatility. We'll go look at the snapshot before that. So here looking at our vol M, right, SPX0DT volume, that's what we're looking at. Calls, green, puts, red. So this just helps us understand the behavior of speculation throughout the session. You can see call side kind of flat on the day, put side moving higher. So this is the classic kind of flat top pattern that we saw on maybe Friday, I forget, but anyways, yeah, flat top pattern, right? Price is likely just going to drift sideways to higher. So just something to be cognizant of. Obviously, using our key levels, we need 6750 as a key level, not seeing speculation above that. So, betting on a rip higher right now, absent news, probably not the best decision just because there's zero speculation moving higher. So yeah, using this, right, identifying, where price is likely to go through the close, assuming all else equal, help to inform butterflies. If you're selling premium, understand where price is likely not to go. It could be super useful there from a directional point of view. If you're scalping intraday, want to probably tighten up what your expected move is, all that good stuff, or maybe just understand it's probably going to be pretty choppy. So expecting some kind of trending move right now, absent news or anything, probably not likely. But then, yeah, obviously something weird happened there. But yeah, that's fine. But it really doesn't change the picture though. So Sherman, hopefully that answers your questions on the flow right now. Flow is very, whatever, just kind of chopping at this point. Yeah, then we can just see this is a screenshot. This just has strikes, key levels, the gamma profile there, obviously 6750, massive strike. You can see unable to overcome that strike. So not surprising there. I assume if we go look at vol M as well. Yeah, we can see, 67, right? Vol M, this is our NetStack command, shows a summary of our 3D surface models. If you guys like to look at surface models, go for it. But this is just a quick summary table. Key strikes above and below spot price. Think of those as the peaks. Is the left-hand plane, right-hand plane strike. The integrals is, if you're summing all the Greeks below, all the Greeks above on the right-hand plane, that's how you get those. So, right, charm. So pressing down on us right now. Vanna is a factor. If we see volatility continue to come out of the market, calls go into the complex. That's where Vanna would then be able to trump charm. So yeah, we just need to see evidence of volatility coming out, right? So, what else? Yeah, then just looking at the key sensitivity strikes, right? Gamma. 6750 going to be a key level to the upside. That's where if we were able to shoot through 6750, that would kind of accelerate us higher, kind of an impulse of calls starting to come into the market, positive delta, all that good stuff. Obviously, we failed to go above there. So yeah, those major strikes above us are just continuing to decay. Hence the net charm kind of weighing down on us. Yeah, Trump treat. So yeah, nothing crazy. Didn't look like it really had a massive impact on price. So yeah, we just continue to kind of muddle around in the range right now. Not sure if there's any individual stocks y'all want to go over. Happy to do that. Something we do from an individual stock point of view is, we have all of our proprietary scans, right, where we're just looking for call and put dominated structures, depending on how you see the market, you want to trade the market. Something else we do, right, I post a couple of watch lists to start the session, just bull and bear list, right? Bull list, call dominated above some moving averages, all that good stuff. And then bear list, right? Put dominated below moving averages, just kind of simple filters to find stocks. I also put up some, scatter plots, which just help us kind of identify those stocks that have good risk to reward. The way that I define a risk to reward is the distance from P-trans, which is your risk, right? Because that's kind of our upside acceleration level. So if we lose P-trans, we go back in the transition zone, and validates our directional thesis a little bit. And then our upside target is plus GEX, right? Short-term strike with the most call gamma, likely spot of monetization. And so, right, we want to have sufficient distance to plus GEX. So, 3-to-1, 5-to-1 ratio, that's generally what I'm looking for. That's why I kind of highlighted in green here. This is kind of your target area where you want to see, kind of getting 3% from plus GEX, 1% from P-trans in here, and kind of above. So really just want to kind of focus on this area. Not a ton else to say there. Coin, United Healthcare, Oscar, Mobileye, XOM, Lyft, all that good stuff. So hopefully that table's clear. If it's not, let me know. But all those stocks are in these watch lists, right? This is just an alternative presentation if you want to hone in on specific stocks. Kind of easy to do that. Another comment I made today were the two watch lists I did put out. Those were pretty red to start the session. So that's generally kind of a tell that, if those stocks that are call dominated, institutional momentum behind them are red, just generally kind of not a good thing on just an intraday basis. So just keep that in mind. Not really a ton else to say there. And I know some people want to go through some stocks. We can go through FIG. We can go through CoreWeave, NBIS, whatever that is. It's running through like NVIDIA. A little bit of intraday reversal off COTMP. Again, guys, I'm just using abbreviations. Probably not fair to all you guys to assume you know what that is, but we've been doing these webcasts all year. And I'm just kind of tired of repeating myself. That's why we get the Game Edge Fast Pass. So you guys can go, get up to speed on all that. Within the web app, we have the Chat AI bot, gives you all the definitions, all that good stuff. So LTO-TMP, which you want to see in a bullish stock intraday, that is the typical behavior. And then, it's below P-trans, unable to break through that right now. So that's just going to be a key level of reference for the bulls going higher. So we just want to see that be overtaken first. Tesla's fine. It has earnings tomorrow, so kind of just the inside day. Really not a ton to say there, right? We do have earnings tomorrow, so not super keen really to participate in this stock right now. Let's just pull it up real quick. Right, this is our web app. This is just a visualization of options market positioning right now. So right, ton of positioning right here at 450, kind of where it is right now. Honing in on this week's expiration, right? Everyone's piled into 450. We're there, right? So the move's kind of been made on an intra-week basis. Obviously, you have earnings tomorrow. Could go either way. So again, I'm not really doing anything in that stock. Looking at AMD, it's had a great rip up at P-trans right now, kind of at all-time highs. Just from kind of a price action technical point of view, you could say it's a bit extended here, just given kind of the parabolic nature of the moving averages, all that good stuff. But if you're not into that, then no worries there. Let's just go look at this. Looking at its option structure, right? It has certainly call dominated, bottom of the spot price, centered kind of right at the transition zone. So nothing wrong if you're looking for an entry here, seeing a continuation higher as well. Just keep in mind earnings are not for a couple weeks here. Fine there. Google, nice intraday reversal, kind of held the downside key levels. Google looks fine. It's got earnings next week as well. Amazon. Nice rip, held 0 gex, nice move higher. Yeah, nothing. I didn't do anything in there just because, right, kind of momentum was going lower. Kind of a nice 2-day reversal. Has earnings coming up, so yeah, we'll see. I don't think that wasn't on any call dominated stock list. Apple looks fine. Heck of a move lately. I tend to say that right now. Palantir. Yes, is one intraday I've been looking at. See if it can kind of break above intraday highs. It's holding its P-trans level. I know it has earnings in 2 weeks, so yeah, potentially looking at something next week expiration maybe if it continues to hold there. Oracle, not very good right now. AVGO flirting with 0 gex, so kind of a key make or break level in the stock right now. Microsoft, this one looks interesting as well. I like how it's holding, above P-trans, all that good stuff, consolidating within prior day range. Unfortunately, it has earnings next week. Meta, same thing, earnings coming up. XOM, earnings coming up. Holding P-trans, though, basically to the penny, so good to see. JP Morgan, looks like it's rolling over a little bit there. Just keep that in mind. And then, yeah, you guys get the point. FIG, someone want to look at FIG. That's Figma. So Figma's options markets aren't super robust yet, so we don't track that stock right now. If they start to get more robust, then we'll start to throw it in the database. But right now, we're not doing anything there, Tom. CRWV. Yeah, so CoreWeave got crushed yesterday. It's below its transition, all that good stuff. CRWV. Jeff, I just saw your question above, so I'll get to that in a second. Yeah, CoreWeave, I mean, look, we got put a dominated strike starting to come into the structure. Never good to see. Below its transition zone, all that good stuff. So yeah, CoreWeave, not interesting to the long side right now. Not like it was a couple weeks ago. NBIS, I don't even know what that is. NBIS. Nebius Group. Infrastructure and services to AI builders worldwide. Sweet. NBIS. Yeah, I mean, this is another stock. Looks pretty crappy. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it had a parabolic move higher. Obviously, speculation starting to come out of that name. Another useful thing to look at here is, we'll just go GR, NBIS 100. Yeah, going back to its structure real quick. Yeah, I mean, like puts overhead, no call speculation above, which there is call speculation, but on a net basis, in the money puts are in control out of out of the money calls, which is not normal for individual equities. Individual equities, generally see out of the money calls dominating to the upside. So this is clearly not a bullish structure right now, or a healthy kind of bullish structure. And yeah, you can look. Yeah, this is actually interesting. This is one of the benefits out of the GEX ratio when you're swinging stocks, especially when you have a parabolic move. What is useful is you start to see the ratio come down ahead of spot price. So you can see as we've had this meltdown, really kind of, we got a little bit of a higher impulse here, but kind of around this level, we failed to make new highs in the GEX ratio. We know that kind of 4 is super elevated level looking at the past 100 days. And so, yeah, I mean, call speculation is just melted out of this name. So this is not appealing at all to the upside right now. So, Jim, let me know if that's clear, if that's helpful. Seeing that right now in regards to NBIS. So I guess ultimately, if your question is wanting to get long the name, not interested in doing that right now. I want to see call speculation start to come back up in the name. Keep in mind, we are starting to get kind of to the floor a little bit in terms of speculation. So this would be kind of a spot where we'd want to see a stabilization and moving higher. But right now, we're not seeing evidence of that. So everyone in the chat, if that was helpful, let me know. Just going over the GEX ratio. No, that's a tool we don't always hit on, but if you go through the fast pass and kind of the quick start guide for swing traders, the GEX ratio is a key tool that we leverage a lot. And Jeff, no, we don't model like the probability of a specific strike being touched. Like I know a lot of platforms just have that generic metric, which honestly isn't super useful. But what we do is we better understand what the key levels are, the direction that the market and speculation is moving intraday. And from there, that is a lot more informative, in our opinion, just in terms of setting up a trade. Because like 6,800, I could tell you whatever your platform could tell you there's a whatever probability of touching that, but that really doesn't mean anything unless we are seeing, speculation building higher. We're seeing obviously price moving higher. Those probability of touch calculations, I'm pretty sure, just mostly based off of the delta of the strike. It's like a theoretical calculation, which I don't know if I'm answering your question or not. I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but succinctly, no, we do not calculate the probability of touch, but we are able to understand where those key levels of reference are at. So, if levels are being broken to the upside and downside, what that means for your thesis. Someone wanted to look at gold. I mean, gold's collapsed as well. So let's look at the GEX ratio there. Go here, GLD. I shouldn't say it's collapsing, but it's just stopping its parabolic move, right? GEX ratio. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, this thing is plummeted. So yeah, gold not super interesting right now. Yeah, you see that out money call speculation is kind of gone. A lot of in the money puts now. So I mean that's consistent with the GEX ratio. Jim, you had another question on when you download scripts, do you only need to do one for all? Yeah, that's right. We have a 0DT script and we have a full complex script. So whatever you're interested in trading from a swing trading point of view, we'll use the full complex. But I know some people like to use the 0DT script, and for that, what that just means is obviously 0DT for those just means the closest expiration that strike offers is what's in the 0DT script. And right, you see that here. Like the TradingView script, you got 0DT, you got the normal script. Yeah, it's had a good move today and yesterday. It's Cloudforce or Salesforce, sorry. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any other questions. That's kind of all I got to talk about right now. Happy to answer more to the extent you guys have them, but if not, then we can call it a session and get back to our lives. Let's get back to the tick. Yeah, tick, I mean, still flat as a pancake. RSP, which is what the neon green is, kind of just flat on an intraday basis, right in the middle of the range. Nice, George. Well, yeah, I mean, if you caught the move from Friday to today, you know, amongst friends from where we were, you got close enough to the 67.70. Oh. But yeah, I guess just on an intraday point of view, probability of moving higher ain't that great if we aren't seeing speculation move higher. So just keep that in mind. So, all right, tight. Well, see the questions are slowing down, so we can end it there. We've been on almost 30 minutes. Hit on 0DT, hit on a lot of individual stocks. So appreciate the time. And we will be talking to y'all later. So you guys have a good rest of your day. Thank you.